Part 100. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 991. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao discussed using the upcoming New Year's Day to hold two-day special sales in Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Beijing to try to get rid of part of the inventory. The current inventory is really too big. From past seasons, Xiao Zhao asked. I want to deal with the slow-moving items of the current season as well. Otherwise, when this winter is over, every store will return winter clothes, and the factory's warehouse won't even be able to store them. By the way, are they still available in the stores below? Are you asking for new winter clothes? Zhang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao sighed. Yes, they are now demanding new models if they can't sell them, and new models if they can't sell them. But after the new models come out, they start to go back as soon as they are launched. How many new models have we launched this year? At this time in previous years, we had long stopped releasing new styles and were instead releasing spring and summer clothes. So the more this happens, the sooner we have to start taking action, Zhang Chen said. I think this way, after using New Year's Day to get rid of some inventory, the 3 self-operated stores will simply set up a special price area. We have always sold special items, selling them at 40% to 50% off, and we still have profits. It is difficult to store them in other stores, so we can only put them in self-operated stores. Xiao Zhao nodded. Looking at the situation, don't expect sales to suddenly improve this winter. We must start taking action as soon as possible, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao said, okay, you design the promotional materials, and I will ask them to prepare the publicity immediately in advance. Zhang Chen picked up the phone on the table, dialed the Riverside Oil Painting Gallery, and told Yao Fen, you and Zhao Xian, can you come over and help me after get off work in the evening? I'll treat you to dinner. Yao Fen laughed. If the boss doesn't invite us to dinner, we will help him. We will go there when the restaurant is closed. It is impossible to print the promotional materials for the 3 stores, so they can only be painted by hand. Zhang Chen wants to finish the painting tonight, so that it can be sent out quickly tomorrow, and Xiaomi and Xiaoli can arrange the layout. Compared with Yao Fen and Zhao Xian, the designers in the design center next door are not art majors after all, and their painting skills are still a little worse. Zhang Chen needs Yao Fen and Zhao Xian to come and help. Zhang Chen looked at Xiao Zhao, who smiled and said, I understand. I will go to the canteen to arrange some dishes for your 2 precious curators. I will also notify the distribution center to prepare all the goods. Call Ge Ling here for me, I need help from their department, Zhang Chen said. When holding activities in a clothing store, it is not just a general discount in a shopping mall. Just put up a sign at the door. Instead, the store of several hundred square meters must be filled with large and small, colorful promotional materials. Only in this way can the activities be carried out. The atmosphere is set off. Zhang Chen vacated the conference table in the office and was about to start work. Ge Ling came in. As soon as Zhang Chen talked to her, she understood that there were activities held in the store all year round. In addition to the different content of the activities, they needed to be exaggerated. The purpose of atmosphere is the same. Ge Ling went back to the design center and told everyone that she would work overtime at night to help make things. She took various colored cardboards and walked out. She was going to design a template with Zhang Chen, and then ask the designers to cut and draw according to the pattern. Zhang Chen asked Yao Fen and Zhao Xian to come and help him draw full-length promotional posters at the entrance of the store and in various directions inside the store. These posters were all painted with gouache on lead drawing paper. The pictures were full of colorful flowers and different shapes. Characters, drawing characters, the designers were dumbfounded. Before Yao Fen and Zhao Xian arrived, Zhang Chen and Ge Ling designed various promotional materials. By the time Yao Fen and Zhao Xian arrived, they had almost finished the design. GE Ling took it back to the design center and started producing large quantities of it. Make. Zhang Chen explained the general content to Yao Fen and Zhao Xian. The two of them understood. They spread out the paper on the conference table and began to draw. The two of them stood at the two ends here, and Zhang Chen stood in the middle over there. 3 pictures. The lead drawing paper almost covered a conference table, and the space left in the middle was just used to put paint. The 3 of them were chatting while painting, and the conversation was naturally about the oil painting museum. Yao Fen and Zhang Chen said that they were going to do several special exhibitions next year. The most important one was, of course, the China Oil Painting Annual Exhibition. They planned to apply for invitations and sign up by themselves. Combined approach. Zhang Chen said that when setting up the exhibition, it is best to reflect the competition and impact of the two forces, that is, the impact of the new forces and unknowns who automatically signed up, on the group of people who have already become famous. Only those who watch this will find it interesting. Boss, do you want them to beat the old master to death with sticks? Zhao Xian said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, that's right, the master is meant to be beaten to death with sticks. If you want to avoid being beaten to death, then you have to work hard. You can't just rest on your laurels. But this way, I'm worried that if we invite people again next year, they won't dare to come and participate, Yao Fen said. That's a coward. This kind of coward won't come if you don't come. Everyone is comparing their works. You don't dare to show your works to compare. You just open your mouth and chatter there every day. Then what else do you paint? Zhang Chen said, I believe that if I tell Mr. Wu Guanzhong about this format, he will be very interested and eager to try it. People who are really capable will not be afraid of competition. Yao Fen thought for a while and said, if this form is recognized by everyone, won't it actually arouse the fighting spirit of many old guys and take the initiative to participate in the war? Yes, we want to create such an atmosphere in terms of public opinion, Zhang Chen said, this is what we want to see, instead of everyone bragging about how much you have sold at auction and how much I have sold at auction. All those who paint oil paintings will be like this, sooner or later they will be the same as those who paint Chinese paintings. Nowadays, there are many fake masters and rubbish among those who paint Chinese paintings and calligraphy. If we need such fake masters and no one else, I can make both of you masters. Haha, boss, tell me quickly, tell me how you can make us masters, Zhao Xian asked. That's not easy. Since money has become the only criterion for measuring the value of works, as long as you have money, I will first publish a picture album for you, and then spend money to publish your works in art magazines and fine TV stations. Make a publicity and report with the newspaper, let the reporters brag about it, create a bit of fame, and then send your works to the auction. You, Zhao Xian, put the price at 5 million, and you, Yao Fen, put the price at 6 million. I asked the Pole to take a picture, and I asked Meng Ping to take a picture. Then the newspaper came out, and the works of 2 beautiful painters were sold as Chinese oil paintings. The highest price is more expensive than Pan Yuliang's. Did it become famous immediately? After 2 or 3 shoots, a bunch of idiots who don't know how to paint and like arty art will come out to buy your paintings. I'm okay. I sold 6 million in the spring auction and 8 million in the autumn auction. They were both sold. Will those idiots be more enthusiastic? What I lose is just a little commission from the auction company. The auction money will come back when it goes out. But now the auction companies can bargain. The commission is not charged on a proportional basis. Instead, I tell them that no matter the auction price, I will buy it for a piece of work. They can pay you a commission of up to 50,000 yuan, but they still do it. Look, how low is the cost of making you too famous? Besides, before I do this, I have a room full of your works here. When you become popular, I will sell them one by one. When I sell one, I will get back all the costs, and then it will be all profits. Is this business a good deal? Yao Fen and Zhao Xian laughed wildly while listening. When Zhang Chen finished speaking, Zhao Xian nodded and said, "Boss, you are really a profiteer. This seems to be really okay." "It doesn't seem like it, it's definitely possible." Zhang Chen looked at them and said with a smile, "How about, we want to make you popular, we have an advantage ourselves, as the chief and deputy director of the Riverside Oil Painting Gallery, this in itself can promote you worth, do you want to give it a try?" "No, no, no, if I fall asleep in the middle of the night, I'll wake up with embarrassment," Yao Fen said. "But if you look at it, many people will definitely take this road in the future." "It is a shortcut," Zhang Chen said. "By the way, that Zheng Fanzi you brought back last time, I see this trend, from his works, I can see that it is all pretentious and has no sincerity at all. This kind of person is the best when he is hyping up and deceiving those 250. "Here it comes again," Boss Yao Fen shouted. Zhang Chen asked, "What's coming again?" "Mean." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "It's not mean, it's this garbage that really makes me angry. You want to be a humming monster? Go to another line of work, not this one. By the way, how many paintings does he have?" "2 pictures," Yao Fen said. "Keep it well, keep it as the emperor's new clothes," Zhang Chen said. "You don't like it, why keep it?" Zhao Xian asked. "Save for the one time when I was really mean, when the hype was too much, I announced in public that his paintings were worthless, and then destroyed them on the spot." Zhang Chen said, "What will be the effect of this?" "You are so bad," Zhao Xian said. Yao Fen sighed and said, "If you do this, maybe it will make him more famous." Zhang Chen was stunned for a moment and cursed, "Then it's not a good deal for me." "Yeah, it's just not cost-effective," Yao Fen said with a smile. "Forget it, let's just treat it as on-site physical evidence to record the Chinese oil painting car accident scene," Zhang Chen said. "I think we can sell them when the price is good, and we can use the money to support more people. Anyway, it's just what you said, boss, that those who like to make noise with their $250 are not cheating." Zhao Xian said. "That's right," Zhang Chen said with a smile, "you are still calmer and more ruthless than me. Indeed, those people will not cheat if they don't cheat, and they will cheat if they cheat. By the way, what other special exhibition are you talking about?" "We also want to do a period exhibition, called the 80s, Yao Fen said. "We would like to put together a retrospective exhibition of the influential works of the 80s. Zhang Chen nodded, "This is interesting, but you need to be well prepared. Many of those painters have gone abroad, including their oil paintings, which are basically not in their own hands now. Most of them are in various art museums. It is necessary to, when going to a business to borrow money, you must have plenty of time. Yes, we want to start doing this right away. We will first go to various art museums to find these paintings, finalize the matter of borrowing the paintings, and at the same time establish cooperative relationships with these art galleries. After all, we have many treasures that they want to borrow here." Yao Fen said. "Finalize the work first, and then start looking for someone. It's always faster and easier to find someone, no matter where they are," Zhao Xian said. Zhang Chen nodded and said, "Yes, you go ahead. Thank you for the tip from the third one from top to bottom, 131, on the shore. Thank you to Chiang 2K, Jianxiang 11, Sun Boshan, Humor Tribe, Wonderful on the Road, and Book Friends 201705172254399985 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening, everyone." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 992. The waiters in the cafeteria below brought them food. Zhang Chen asked them to help put it on the coffee table. He went to the next door and asked Xiao Zhao to come and eat with him. The 4 of them were eating when someone knocked on the door. Xiao Zhao called out and came in. After being pushed open, a person walked in from the door. Xiao Zhao shouted. Xiaoan, why are you here? Have you had dinner? Xiaoan looked at them and shook his head. Xiao Zhao and Zhang Chen were surprised. They saw Xiaoan's eyes were red. Xiao Zhao quickly stood up and walked over and asked. Xiaoan, what's wrong with you? It's not me, it's my sister, Xiaoan said. Xiao Zhao was surprised. What's wrong with sister Tianlin? Xiaoan looked at Yao Fen and Zhao Xian and hesitated to speak. Xiao Zhao understood, hugged her and said, let's go to my office. The two men walked out. Zhang Chen stood up and told Yao Fen and Zhao Xian, you continue to eat? He also walked out. The three of them entered Xiao Zhao's office. Zhang Chen closed the door, and Xiaoan started to cry. She said, something happened to my sister, and she didn't let me tell you. I couldn't help it, so I ran out secretly to ask for help. Let me tell you. What happened to sister Tianlin? Xiaoan, tell me quickly, Zhang Chen said anxiously. During dinner a few days ago, do you still remember that my sister talked about the Hangcheng cigarette factory? Xiaoan asked. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao nodded quickly, and Zhang Chen asked, is this business not received? No, this business has been received. That's not a good thing, Zhang Chen said. Didn't sister Tianlin say that after receiving this order, she would move the factory from Shenzhen to Hangzhou? Isn't that a good thing? It's just because we have to move the factory that this thing came up. If we don't move the factory, we don't know when it will come up, Xiaoan said. It's my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is in Shenzhen. There are people outside. Moreover, there are people outside. I had a child with someone else. Ah, Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were shocked. This person is the treasurer of our company in Shenzhen. When she found out that the factory was moving to Hangzhou, she quit her job and transferred all the money from the factory's account. She also said that she had been waiting for my brother-in-law for 8 years. My brother-in-law lies to me every day that he will divorce my sister and marry her. Now that both the man and the factory want to escape back to Hangzhou, she must ask for an explanation. She also said that whether she has a share in this factory or not, their children also have a share. They can't just move away. Either my brother-in-law divorces my sister and marries her, or he has to compensate for her losses and give her. She and her children have a lot of money, otherwise, she would have reported my brother-in-law and his company for tax evasion, which would have made the matter bigger. Xiao Zhao and Zhang Chen understood that this matter was really serious. Xiao Zhao asked Xiaoan, where is sister Tianlin? Still crying in the office, Xiaoan said. Come on, let's go there. Xiao Zhao stood up and Zhang Chen said, yes, I will go too. Just you girls, don't just cry. You can cry all night without being able to come up with an idea. Xiao Zhao and Xiaoan both rolled their eyes at him. Zhang Chen said seriously, don't talk about this kind of thing, it's just a bystander's guess. The three of them walked out and walked to the next door. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao Xiaoan said, wait for me for a minute. He walked into his office and asked Yao Fen and Zhao Xian, do you know what to do? You guys keep going, I have something urgent to do and I need to go out for a while. Yao Fen and Zhao Xian both nodded. The three people arrived at Chu Tianlin's company at splendid Jiangnan across the street and walked into Chu Tianlin's office. Chu Tianlin's eyes were filled with tears. When she saw them, she quickly turned her head and wiped her tears with a tissue. Before Chu Tianlin said anything, Xiao Zhao complained. Sister, such a big thing happened, why didn't you tell us right away? We don't know yet if Xiaoan doesn't go. Chu Tianlin said anxiously, I can't even say it, it's so embarrassing. Who are you embarrassing, sister? Have you done anything? Xiao Zhao asked. It's embarrassing, it's also embarrassing for them, it's not you who are embarrassed, you are upright, what are you afraid of? Chu Tianlin looked at Xiao Zhao and started to cry. Xiao Zhao, you don't know, I'm in a state of despair right now, I just feel like the sky is falling. Xiao Zhao walked over and hugged Chu Tianlin. Xiao Zhao also cried. She said, I know, sister, but don't be afraid. Even if the sky falls, there are still us. You are not alone. We will bear it with you. Yes, do you understand, sister? Chu Tianlin nodded. Zhang Chen also said, Sister Tianlin, Xiao Zhao is right, no matter what happens, we will be with you. Thank you, Chu Tianlin said. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao came, and Chu Tianlin's emotions slowly calmed down. She told them everything exactly. What she said was roughly the same as what Xiaoan said. At the end, she sighed, just now, not only did her family not have any, the company is gone, and the company is gone. This man is really in heaven and earth, how can he survive? Xiao Zhao quickly advised me, sister, don't think so, as long as you are still well, you are not afraid. Chu Tianlin said, you don't know, Xiao Zhao, I don't think it's worth it. Here, I work from morning to night every day. I can't even see my son a few times a year. Most of the business in the factory is, sister has worked so hard to do this, why am I doing this? Just saying that I have been working hard for the business of Hangcheng cigarette factory for more than a year. I have been keeping an eye on it and finally got it. Who in the printing industry doesn't keep an eye on this business? The contract was signed a few days ago. Not to mention how happy I am. I feel that our career can reach a higher level from now on. The family has been separated for so many years and can finally be reunited. I didn't expect that what happened next would be a bolt from the blue. Xiao Zhao, why do you think my sister is so willing? As Chu Tianlin spoke, tears flowed out again. Xiao Zhao took the tissue and wiped it for her. As he wiped it, Xiao Zhao's tears also flowed out. Xiaoan took another tissue and wiped it for Xiao Zhao. Chu Tianlin looked at them and couldn't help laughing when she saw such a funny scene. She pushed Xiao Zhao's hand away, wiped it herself, and shouted. Okay, don't cry anymore. Do you think it's not worth it to cry for such a person? Xiao Zhao, Xiaoan and Zhang Chen both nodded together. Okay, don't cry anymore, I'm going to wash my face. Chu Tianlin stood up and walked into the bathroom. After 5 or 6 minutes, she still didn't come out. Xiao Zhao and Xiaoan looked at each other. Xiao Zhao stood up and walked to the bathroom. He put his hand on the door handle and tried it. It was not locked. Xiao Zhao opened the door and saw Chu Tianlin standing there in a daze, staring at herself in the mirror above the sink, crying. Xiao Zhao walked over and hugged her. Chu Tianlin said, Xiao Zhao, have you seen that I am already old? What is this for? Xiao Zhao told her, no, come on, sister, let's wash our faces, put on makeup and go out to eat. I guarantee that even those young men will want to come and chat with you. If I want to hit on you, I'll hit you up first. Chu Tianlin smiled and hit Xiao Zhao. Xiao Zhao giggled and said, okay, we'll be hit on together. Then Xiao Zhang doesn't want to fight with others. Ignore him, as long as we are happy. Xiao Zhao continued to smile. After another 10 minutes, Chu Tianlin and Xiao Zhao came out of the bathroom. Now it seemed that Chu Tianlin was the original Chu Tianlin, except that her eyes were still a little red. Xiao Zhao shouted, let's go to Longxiang Bridge to eat seafood. Xiaoan, you take his car, sister take my car, we will go all the way. Show me off. Chu Tianlin said that when these words came out of Chu Tianlin's mouth, several people were surprised, and then they laughed. Xiao Zhao shouted. That's right, we need to show off. The 4 of them arrived at the second cup stall at Longxiang Bridge and asked for a private room. When the boss saw Chu Tianlin, he shouted, how fashionable. Chu Tianlin asked with a smile, what? The eyes, The black people painted are so weird, scary. The boss pointed at his eyes and said, he thought Chu Tianlin's red eyes were made up. Chu Tianlin smiled and shook his head. The four people entered the box and sat down. Zhang Chen asked Chu Tianlin, Sister Tianlin, is it okay now? What? Chu Tianlin asked. Can you talk about your thoughts and plans? We need to discuss this matter and resolve it as soon as possible. This kind of thing is to cut the knot with a quick knife. The longer it is delayed, the more people will be hurt. This is not worth it, Zhang Chen said. Yes, that's right, Xiaoan said. Chu Tianlin glared at her and cursed, talk too much, you kid, what do you know? Only my child knows how to do it, Xiaoan said unconvinced. If I were still crying, I would go to Shenzhen tomorrow and pick him up and slap him twice. How dare you be so arrogant as a mistress? Then this one, slap them twice, tell them to take out the money, and then get out of here. What a humming couple. Xiaoan said. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao laughed, and Chu Tianlin couldn't help laughing too. She took the money away. How can it be so easy to take it out again? Chu Tianlin said. This won't work, Zhang Chen said. For her to transfer the money like this is a theft. You can call the police. She is a financial officer. No matter what her purpose or identity is, she cannot transfer the company's money. Chu Tianlin sighed and said, if it's the last one, who? He said he signed the agreement to transfer. He is the boss of the company. Who knows which side he will be on? Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao also felt that this matter was troublesome. If this was the case, it would be really difficult to transfer the money back. If you want me to say, let them be slapped until they have to spit out the money, Xiaoan said. Zhang Chen looked at Chu Tianlin and asked, Sister Tianlin, do you think you will still forgive him and live with him now? I will never forgive him, Chu Tianlin said without thinking. From the first second I heard about this, I decided that I will never forgive him. I must divorce him. My son belongs to me. It is my responsibility and my son's, not even a penny less. I won't give them any advantage. Have you decided yet? Zhang Chen asked. It's decided, Chu Tianlin said, otherwise, I will feel sick if I am in the same room with him again. Then it becomes simple, just take care of the funeral, Zhang Chen said, or call the Pole and Lao Tan over, and everyone can come up with ideas and discuss what to do next. Chu Tianlin blushed and thought for a while and said, okay, I don't have to worry about any embarrassment. That's it anyway. Just ask them to come. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 993. The first ones to arrive were Lu Ligan and Tan Shahen, followed by Lao Tan and Han Emperor Lu Bang, and finally Wei Venfang and Wu Ziyawai. However, the time between them was very short. The difference between the three groups was only 10 minutes, and the previous group had just finished greetings. Found a seat to sit down, the people behind him arrived immediately, everyone stood up again, and the box was quickly filled up. Zhang Chen remembered and asked the boss to add more dishes, but Lu Ligan said, we have already added more. Chu Tianlin looked at everyone and said, I'm so sorry for asking everyone to come over because of me. Lu Ligan said, Sister Tianlin has something to do, and we would be embarrassed if we didn't come over. Wei Venfang said, yes, Sister Tianlin's matter is our all's matter. Chu Tianlin herself was still a little shy and felt that she couldn't speak out. Zhang Chen told everyone about the matter. Wu Ziyawai was furious when he heard it. He said, if there is such a thing, just go over there, tie them both up, and beat them first. Zhang Chen looked at him and said, yes, you and Xiaoan are comparable. Isn't that right? When we in Tonglu encounter this kind of thing, we always beat them up first, don't you Yongcheng people? Wu Ziyawai shouted. In Taiwan, they are miserable. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said, Article 239 of our Taiwan's criminal law is the crime of adultery. Like them, both men and women are sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of less than 1 year. Really? Lu Li asked curiously, you still have the crime of adultery in Taiwan? That's because you Taiwan compatriots are just and awe-inspiring. Actually, according to our country's laws, they are breaking the law. Tan Shahan said, if they live together and have children, this is called a de facto marriage, and they should have committed the crime of bigamy. Lao Tan looked at Chu Tianlin and said, this requires Xiao Chu to sue. Xiao Chu probably can't do this yet. He should beat the person to death. Chu Tianlin shook her head and said, I don't even have the energy to think about these things. I don't even want to see them now. It's so disgusting. I just want to take my son back and get my hard-earned money back. The money comes. Sister Tianlin, it will definitely not work if we don't face it. This matter needs to be resolved quickly, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhang is right, this kind of thing cannot be delayed, Lao Tan said. But, what should I do now? Chu Tianlin was a little anxious. Let me face a customer. No matter how difficult the customer is, I can find a way. But when it comes to this kind of thing, let alone deal with it, think of me, I just feel like I'm shaking all over. I'll go with you, Sister Tianlin, Xiao Zhao said, since we want a quick victory, let's go to Shenzhen tomorrow. Don't be afraid. I'll go with you, Tan Shahan said. Lao Tan said, yes, Xiao Chu, let them accompany you, they will definitely handle this matter. Would you like me to accompany you? We have someone in Shenzhen, Wu Ziyawai called. Xiao Zhao said, no need, Sister Shahan, and I will just go with you. If anything happens, just call me, Wu Ziyawai said. We are in Shenzhen, with more than 100 people. What are you doing? Do you think you're going to start a group fight? Lu Ligan cursed. Hey, it's really possible. What Xiao Wu said is right. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said, if the negotiation goes well, let's talk. If the negotiation doesn't work well, we just have to bring people over and tear down the entire company. I also have it in Shenzhen many friends. If it doesn't work, it's really like this. Hundreds of people will go over, dismantle everything, transport it and leave, and let them come back to you. Wu Kai kept nodding and said, yes, Emperor Liu is right. Transport all your printing presses to Hangzhou as soon as possible. Chu Tianlin said, thank you, that's not what I'm afraid of. Now that the company has stopped, my brother is there and he has pulled the switch. I still can't get through the psychological barrier. It's okay, Sister Tianlin, Xiao Zhao and I are with you, Tan Shahan said. Chu Tianlin held Tan Shahan with one hand and Xiao Zhao with the other, and said to them, thank you. With you here, I feel at ease. Xiao Zhao said, Sister Tianlin, we will go tomorrow. If we don't get the results you are satisfied with, we will not come back. Chu Tianlin said, I can't go tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to go to the Hangcheng cigarette factory to apologize to others and say I'm sorry. They entrusted me with such a big business, but it's too big of a deal to do it now. I always have to go and say sorry to them first. Why can't we do this business, Sister Tianlin? Zhang Chen asked. Chu Tianlin smiled bitterly and said, it turns out that the reason why they agreed to hand over this order to us was to ask us to move the factory to Hangzhou. How can we move it now? Then what will you do in the future? Zhang Chen asked. Don't do printing anymore. Sister Tianlin, didn't you say that most of the business in the factory is yours, plus this big order? Why can't you do it yourself, and no one else can do it? Don't rely on it. Do it myself. Chu Tianlin was surprised. I have never thought about this. Zhang Chen is right, Sister Tianlin. In fact, you should have done it yourself a long time ago. If you have a business, how difficult is it to open a printing factory? You have done it yourself a long time ago, and that person is just a wage earner under you. Where can a general manager do it for him? A woman like that wouldn't fall in love with him, right? Lu Ligan said. Xiao Zhao also said, it's okay, Sister Tianlin. When we first made clothes, you didn't know it? We didn't know anything. Didn't we start making clothes? You already knew about printing and we still had orders in hand. What are you afraid of? Chu Tianlin looked at Xiaoan, and Xiaoan nodded and said, Sister, they are right. We will do it ourselves. What's the big deal? Let my brother come back too. We can still do business. He can take care of the factory. Everyone advised Chu Tianlin to do it on her own, and Chu Tianlin's heart started to move. She thought, yes, even if she gets divorced, she still has to do things. Let herself do other things. She doesn't know how to do printing, but her own this bank. The most important thing is that she really can't bear to part with the Hangcheng cigarette factory business. You know, this business alone can make a printing factory a lot of money. Chu Tianlin said, but, in this case, I will move the entire factory here. The current situation. Sister Tianlin, I told you not to be angry. According to me, when you go this time, you want 3 things. One is a son, the other is money, and the third is villas, houses, and office buildings in Hangzhou and Shenzhen. Leave the factory and house to him. No matter how you divide it, no matter how wrong he is, he can't say that he can't divide anything. Even if you file a lawsuit, the court will not support it. Just take these 3 things back to Hangzhou and break away from Shenzhen. We will buy new equipment in Hangzhou and build a new factory. Everything will be new and start over. Zhang Chen said, and everyone else nodded. Lu Ligan said, yes, Sister Tianlin, Zhang Chen's idea is better. Rebuilding a factory? This equipment is very expensive. If you want to print the products of Hangcheng cigarette factory, you need at least Heidelberg or KBA machines, from the pre-press plate making machine, the paper cutter to the printing machine, and then to the post-printing folding machine. Die cutting machine, etc. The complete set is at least 6 to 7 million, and even if he promised to give me all the money, I know it is not that much, Chu Tianlin said. Don't worry about money, Sister Tianlin, we have it here, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao also said, yes, sister, you don't have to worry about money. But it's too late. The Hangcheng cigarette factory only gave us 3 months to move the factory. I don't even know how to buy this printing press now. Even if I buy it, it's too late. I still have to rent a factory. Yes, Chu Tianlin said with a bitter smile. If you give me the printing press, do you want it from Heidelberg? My friend is in Heidelberg. He is local and has some connections. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, looked at the time. At this time, it was still afternoon in Germany and it was time to go to work. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said, I will contact you immediately. That's right, Brother Liu can do it. Brother Liu has transported all the bowling lanes from abroad to Hangzhou, Xiao Zhao shouted. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, smiled, stood up, walked out of the box, and went to make a phone call. I already have a factory building. I just need to renovate it. As long as the machines can keep up, there will definitely be no problem with the factory building. Lu Ligan said, it's Gongchen Kiao, the factory building of our Hangcheng spoke factory. Their original workshop for making spokes is more than 1,000 square meters. There are 3 rooms in total, which are enough for you. It used to be equipped with wire drawing machines and polishing machines. The foundation has been treated. It will be no problem for you to use it as a printing shop. It just needs to be remodeled and painted according to your needs. There is water and 3-phase electricity inside. It still works. Yes, if we want to rebuild, we will definitely have enough time in 3 months, Lao Tan said. It's okay there, Sister Tianlin. It's originally an industrial zone and the road transportation is very convenient, Tan Shahan said. Chu Tianlin looked at them and felt a little dumbfounded. She thought that big and difficult things were very easy and small things in their eyes. It seemed that there was strength in numbers, and these people were all capable men. With them, Chu Tianlin felt that she was suddenly full of longing for a new life in the future, and she felt less sad. The door of the box opened, and Han Emperor Lu Bang put his head in and asked Chu Tianlin, Miss Chu, is Heidelberg Speedmaster SM52 okay? What, your friend can buy SM52? This is Heidelberg's latest machine. It was only launched on the market last year. It is difficult to order, Chu Tianlin said. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, made an okay gesture and closed the box door again. At this time, Chu Tianlin felt a little excited. With the latest complete set of Heidelberg equipment, this factory can be said to be the most advanced in the domestic printing industry. Such a factory, she had never thought of just a few hours ago. Now, it seems to be very, very close to me. The door of the box opened, and Han Emperor Lu Bang came back. He said it was okay. The main reason is that the SM52 printing press is relatively tight. It needs to be ordered. The other equipment you mentioned are all in stock. If the order is placed tomorrow, they will stock the goods for 35 days and guarantee that the items will leave the port of Hamburg or not arrive within 40 days. In Megang, there are fast and slow ships. We pay a little more freight and take the fast ship, and we can reach Shanghai in 23 to 25 days. Okay, so we have more than 20 days to install the machine. There will be no problem at all. Xiao Chu, you just need to find the technicians in advance, Lao Tan said. They have an office in the mainland to debug the machines, and they will send people over. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said. Miss Chu, the communist army said, you just need to find technicians here. That's no problem. My brother is an engineer at the Shenzhen factory. When I come back, he will definitely come back with me, Chu Tianlin said. That's it, everything is ready. The first order of business for Sister Tianlin's printing factory is the cigarette label for the Hangcheng cigarette factory. Perfect, Lu Ligan patted the table and shouted. Everyone in the box laughed, Zhang Chen and Chu Tianlin said. Sister Tianlin, ask your brother to work hard and write out a list of the equipment you need and fax it to me. Brother Lu and I will place the order tomorrow. Also, ask your brother to draw a floor plan, including the inside, the ground treatment and the laying of pipelines are all clearly marked. Brother Ten can make arrangements immediately. Leave it to us to renovate the factory here. Anyway, Xiaoan is with us. We don't know, and she also knows. You go to Shenzhen tomorrow and try to finish the things there as early as possible and come back as early as possible. There's more time to prepare. Before Chu Tianlin had time to speak, Xiao Zhao said again, come on, sister, give me your ID card, and I will book a flight ticket, as well as yours, Sister Shahan. Lu Ligan picked up the mobile phone and dialed Lao Wan's mobile phone. Lu Ligan said to Lao Wan, run over immediately, measure the length and width of the spoke factory workshop, and tell me how many meters each is. Thank you to Dal Tin Soldier and RIRI Shushu for the reward. Thank you book friends 13080623280710 and Lao Chantang for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 994. Xiao Zhao and Tan Shahan accompanied Chu Tianlin to Shenzhen. Lu Bang, the emperor of Han dynasty, passed the list of equipment they needed to his friend in Heidelberg and entrusted him to go to Heidelberg Printing Machinery Co., Limited to sign the contract. Zhang Chen paid the deposit to Heidelberg Druckmaschinen AG. Chu Tianlin's brother sent the floor plan. Based on the current equipment and production volume, they only need one building from the original spoke factory. More than 1,000 square meters are divided into two, half is a workshop and the other half is used as a warehouse. How to route the underground pipelines is also clearly marked on the floor plan. After Zhang Chen saw the facts, he called Lu Ligan and Lao Tan. The two men rushed over immediately. They knew that Chu Tianlin's brother was trying to save space as much as possible, but they had to reserve space for them to develop. Space. The result of the discussion between the three people was that one of the three factory buildings was currently being used by Lao Wan and the others to store various construction tools. They decided to give the other two factory buildings to Chu Tianlin and turn them into an independent factory within a factory. It is convenient to manage, because in the spoke factory, there are not only Lao Wan and others from Splendid Land, but also old workers and their families from the original spoke factory living there. Chu Tianlin and his printing factory are not convenient for outsiders to enter and exit at will. They decided to seal one side of the two side-by-side factory buildings with a wall and install an iron gate on the other end. This way an independent space was formed. The open space between the two factory buildings became the yard of Chu Tianlin and his printing factory. Considering that they were afraid of being exposed to rain from raw materials to finished products, a large roof was built with fiberglass tiles on 2/3 of the yard, between the two factory buildings. The roofs of the two factory buildings are all red tiles, which have been in disrepair for a long time. Some of them are cracked and need to be renovated. Fortunately, when the factory buildings were built, the roofs were made of cement beams and cement rafters, so there was no rafter rot. The problem of rafters needing to be replaced, the amount of construction is not large. The original exposed red brick exterior wall was repainted, and the inside of a factory building was left alone until Chu Tianlin and others needed to purchase new equipment and expand production. There is another building, which was constructed according to the floor plan of Chu Tianlin's brother. The pipelines were buried. After the ground was waterproofed and moisture-proof, the epoxy floor paint was painted. The factory building here originally had a truck for transporting steel in the workshop. The floor height of the building is very high and the clearance is more than 5 meters. They decided to demolish the old bicycles. There was no suspended ceiling in the factory, and the red tiles on the roof were directly visible, so the entire building needed to be suspended. Over at the warehouse, the height of the floor is just right for stacking piles of paper and finished products. Over at the workshop, there is no need for such a high floor height. Zhang Chen added a second floor with a row of offices and conference rooms above it. From the side there is a staircase to go up. After the drawing design was completed, Zhang Chen faxed it to Shenzhen and asked Chu Tianlin's brother to confirm it. Chu Tianlin's brother immediately called and said to Zhang Chen, "Mr. Zhang, very good, you are more thoughtful and comprehensive than me. Thank you. You." After the drawings were confirmed, Lao Tan immediately asked Lao Wan to arrange the construction. He told Lao Wan that this project must be rushed out and cannot be stopped during the Spring Festival. "You arrange for workers who are not going home during the Spring Festival to do it?" Lao Wan said yes. Within the 3-month period, they limited the time to 80 days. Within 80 days, all reconstruction work, including the installation of machinery and equipment, must be completed. The remaining 10 days were used to arrange trial production for Chu Tianlin and others. There are training staff. Zhang Chen and the others started construction here, and Chu Tianlin was determined to proceed as they had agreed. Chu Tianlin's brother, after hearing about their arrangements in Hangzhou, also felt that this was the best, and he didn't have so much anger in his heart. All that's left is to take care of things here, and then his sister and brother-in-law will go their separate ways. And he himself wanted to go back to Hangzhou. Chu Tianlin's brother called his brother-in-law and asked him to discuss the divorce. His brother-in-law did not dare to come to the factory. Instead, he booked a private room in a cafe on Chinese Avenue and arranged to talk there. Chu Tianlin still refused to go, So Chu Tianlin's brother went over with Tan Shahen and Xiao Zhao. Unexpectedly, the other party brought the woman with him. The brother-in-law and Chu Tianlin's brother said with some embarrassment that she had no choice but to come. The younger brother snorted. The five of them sat down, and Tan Shahen said straight to the point that as things have developed now, we don't need to talk about other nonsense. Sister Tianlin means divorce. If we can reach an agreement, both parties will agree to divorce. If we can't reach an agreement, we will go to the court. Prosecution. As soon as the man heard that they were here to talk about divorce, he immediately beamed with joy and said, "Okay, we can talk about it." Tan Shahen looked at it and shook her head secretly. She didn't expect that the other party would react like this when it came to divorce. Tan Shahen really felt unworthy for Chu Tianlin. Why should such a man be nostalgic? As Zhang Chen said, he just wanted to quick victory, early resolution, and early relief. The younger brother also got angry and cursed, "You bastard, is this what you want?" The man quickly said, "It's not me." "You heard it too. It's your sister who wants a divorce. What if I don't get a divorce and live with you couple? What the hell are you thinking?" The woman shouted, "Why are you swearing?" "Swearing? It's okay if I scold you. Believe it or not, I'll beat you up and ruin someone's family. How can you still be so confident?" The younger brother cursed and was about to take action. Tan Shahen and Xiao Zhao quickly stopped him and told him that it was not worth it to calm down and be the same as them. Tan Shahen knew that if both parties were like this, today's matter would not be able to continue. She quickly pushed her brother outside the box door and told him, "We are not worth fighting. You still have your career, waiting for you to go back to Hangzhou to do it, no time must be spent here. You smoke and drink coffee outside to calm down. Xiao Zhao and I will talk to them and we will follow our agreement and won't give in. If they don't accept it, you can go in and deal with them, okay?" The younger brother nodded and angrily found a seat outside to sit down. Tan Shahen returned to the box, sat down, and said to the man, "We are here today not to negotiate terms, but to tell you our requirements. There is no room for bargaining. Again, if you agree, both parties will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Even if we don't agree to divorce, we can go through the courts and we will still get what we need." The man quickly said, "Miss Tan, tell me." Tan Shahen said, "I think our request is very reasonable and takes into account your interests. Sister Tianlin, how can I put it, no matter what, she still misses the old relationship and doesn't want to do things too much, otherwise we will no need to talk about it." Tan Shahen then said to the woman, "I will tell you the ugly things first. People like you, don't be arrogant. Even if you were stripped naked and beaten by Sister Tianlin on the street, I guarantee that no one would do it. I sympathize with you. In this society, the law cannot control it, but there are still public order and good customs. You know what you are in the minds of others." The woman glared at Tan Shahen, turned away, and snorted. Tan Shahen said with a smile, "Don't be dissatisfied. Believe it or not, I will slap you twice on behalf of Sister Tianlin. You just call 110 to call the police. See if anything will happen to me when the police come. Will you still be scolded by the police? Done. If I were you, if you were smart, just keep your tail between your legs and see if this man gets divorced and is getting married to someone else. That way you still have a way out. Also, don't think that we can't do something like stripping you of your clothes on the street and beating you up. When people are in a hurry, they will do anything. It's annoying to be unreasonable and unforgiving. Don't say you are like this. It's unreasonable and you dare to be so confident. Even if you are beaten, you deserve it. If you don't believe me, just continue to do evil and wait and see what the consequences will be." The woman flattened her mouth and became silent. Tan Shahen scolded her in silence. The man understood that although this woman looked quiet and beautiful, She was not easy to deal with. He didn't know where Chu Tianlin found such a vicious person. Tan Shahan then set out their conditions. Their son would be raised by Chu Tianlin, the villa in Peach Blossom Spring in Hangzhou, Chu Tianlin and his family's current residence in Hangzhou, and the office building in splendid Jiangnan would go to Chu Tianlin, and Chu Tianlin would be given another 4.8 million cash. Their factories and houses in Shenzhen belong to the man, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash are also kept for them as working capital. Chu Tianlin's husband thought about it and calculated it in his mind, and felt that such a request was reasonable. The factories, buildings, and equipment in Shenzhen are worth more than 10 million in total, and their house in Hangzhou, the old house, is not valuable. The most valuable thing is the villa in Peach Blossom Spring, which was bought with full price. Splendid Jiangnan, the office building, is mortgaged, and the real estate in Hangzhou and 4.8 million in cash add up to only 10 to 10 million. In this way, Chu Tianlin really didn't ask for much and left a way for himself. Just when he was about to say yes, the woman jumped up and objected. She felt that the money given was too much, and she could only give 2 million at most. Tan Shahan scolded, "If you think clearly, none of the money here is yours. What qualifications do you have to speak here? In what capacity do you speak here? You think the money has been transferred, and the money is yours? How about you have a clear mind? If we call the police now, you will go to jail. Don't think that he will support you. Even if he is a legal person, he cannot transfer the company's money to his personal name without a normal reason. You know, really? That's all the shareholders' money, not his personal money, understand? I don't think you understand either. You're just a legal illiterate. Only a legal illiteracy would do such a thing." The woman pursed her lips and tried her old trick again. She said, "Then I can report them for tax evasion." Xiao Zhao looked at the woman and smiled. "Okay, you can call now. We don't care if they evade taxes. Even if they do, the legal person will be responsible. Also, if the financial personnel are involved, they will also be held accountable. Your accountant, the qualification certificate will definitely be revoked. Sister Tianlin is far away in Hangzhou. Everything here is done by your conspiracies and has nothing to do with Sister Tianlin." Tan Shahan smiled and said, "By the way, Xiao Zhao, I hadn't thought of it at first, but she reminded me. If she doesn't fight, why don't we call and report them for conspiring to evade taxes? In this way, these two people will go in and wait for them when we came out." Even the factories were moved to Hangzhou. Tan Shahan and Xiao Zhao were singing in unison, and both of the other parties' faces turned pale. The man glared at the woman fiercely, blaming her for being nosy, and the woman did not dare to speak. Tan Shahan smiled and continued, "You may not know it yet, but we have obtained evidence. Someone has proved that you usually live together. Even the property fees of the place where you live are paid by men. This is called a de facto marriage, do you understand? We can sue him here for bigamy." Tan Shahan looked at Chu Tianlin's husband and said to him, "The crime of bigamy is a crime of private prosecution. In other words, Sister Tianlin will not care about you. If you let me go, you will be fine. If Sister Tianlin cares about it, I will sue you. You can ask a lawyer yourself, how many years of jail time you will get for bigamy." Tan Shahan looked at the woman and asked, "If he goes in, everything here, whether it is a house in Shenzhen or a factory, do you think it is yours or Sister Tianlin's? Do these things have anything to do with you?" Chu Tianlin's husband was sweating. What else did the woman want to say? He glared at her and cursed. "Shut up, don't be so humming greedy and make me angry. I really gave everything to Chu Tianlin. If you want to go to heaven or earth, you can do it yourself. If you want me to go to jail, I will go. That's right, you don't have the right to speak here. If you keep nagging, get the hell out of here. Give me a penny and transfer the money back immediately. Otherwise, I will get up from here and report the case to the Public Security Bureau. Before you could report it, I just arrested you first. Damn it, I'm blind too. There are so many beautiful women, why the hell did I fall into your trap? The woman's face turned from red to blue, and finally she burst into tears. Thank you to the 10,000 Years White Vote Party, ranked third from top to bottom, and 131 on the shore for the reward. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 995. Chu Tianlin took his son and younger brother, as well as several technical backbones in the factory, back to Hangzhou with Tan Shahen and Xiao Zhao, and handed his son over to his parents who came to pick them up at the airport. Immediately, he asked Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan took her to see the construction site. The few technical backbones who came with them got into Lao Wan's car. Xiaoan and Lao Wan arranged for them to stay. They lived in the dormitory of the original Hangcheng Spoke factory, and ate together in Lao Wan's cafeteria. Is still very convenient. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan took Chu Tianlin and her brother Chu Tianjian to their construction site. The two of them became excited when they saw such a large area and the construction workers had already started working here. Lu Ligan asked, Sister Tianlin, how is this place? Chu Tianlin smiled and said, it's good, but it's too big and a waste. This one is enough. Zhang Chen said it was not enough. Sister Tianlin, I checked and found that the Heidelberg Speedmaster SM52 has a maximum printing format of 36 x 52 cm. It is enough for printing cigarette labels and general albums and promotional materials, but I think, in the future, there will be a huge market demand for large format, full format prints, especially the needs of high-end customers. Now there is simply no way to meet them. Including many of the current outer packaging, the printing is very crude and can no longer keep up with the upgrading of the product itself. If large format color printing is available, they will definitely use color printing. Yes, Mr. Zhang, what you said is correct. In our original Shenzhen factory, many of these orders just couldn't be printed. Ours was also an 8-format printing machine. Not to mention a full-format printing machine, it was a half-format printing machine. The business of the printing press is not very good now, Chu Tianjian said. Chu Tianlin asked curiously, Xiao Zhang, you don't do printing, how do you know this? Online, I can see it from the computer. Now computers can access the internet. You can find a lot of things on the internet. There are also forums and chat rooms, and there are some that talk about printing. I'll find out after I go in and take a look, Zhang Chen said. It's so magical, Lu Ligan exclaimed, then I'm going to buy one right away. Bought it and smashed it, Zhang Chen asked. You guy, people say that people don't expose their shortcomings. Why did you poke my scar? Lu Ligan scolded, and everyone laughed. Zhang Chen and Chu Tianlin said, Sister Tianlin, I think you should install one here, so that a lot of information can be understood. By the way, what about this full sheet printing machine, or just install it together? Chu Tianjian shouted, okay, that would be great. Chu Tianlin quickly said, no, we haven't even started here yet. Even if we want to go that far, we're not afraid of dying. Lu Ligan said from the side, Sister Tianlin, in this business, the priority is to seize the opportunity. If you wait until everyone has it, what will you do? Why should people give things to you and go to Shenzhen to print them? You can't print it in Hangzhou, and you can't even print it in Shanghai. When you open here, anyone who goes to Shenzhen will definitely be released here. Yes, Sister Tianlin, the poll is right. Either you don't do it, or you have to get ahead of others. There is a printing press. I don't know if you have heard of it. Manroland 900. It can print from 1 meter to 1 meter. The format is 4 meters long, Zhang Chen said. So big, Chu Tianjian was surprised, Manroland is also a German company. I have heard of the Manroland 900. It is also a newly released machine. I didn't expect its format to be so large. Is this machine available in China? Lu Ligan said. No, it's not available in China yet, Zhang Chen said. Then buy it, Sister Tianlin. It's not available in China yet, so why not seize the opportunity, Lu Ligan shouted. Buy, you too, are you burning with money in your pockets, Chu Tianlin scolded. Lu Ligan looked at Chu Tianlin and shook his head. Come on, you can't talk about this kind of thing with a woman. Brother Tianjian, let's talk. Lu Lepol pulled Chu Tianjian aside and told him. Chu Tianjian looked back at Chu Tianlin and laughed. Lu Ligan asked, if this machine comes, will you be sure to use it? This is not difficult. The printing machines are all similar. You can master it in 2 days. The only difference is the size of the printing format. The principles are the same. Besides, they are all machines from Germany. I can understand the instructions. The machine just came from Shenzhen. At that time, I just held the dictionary and looked up word by word to understand the instructions, Chu Tianjian said. Awesome, what do you think? The one over there is from Heidelberg, with cigarette labels printed all over it, and the one over here is from that brand, with other brands printed on it. Do you think it's awesome or not? Lu Ligan asked. Of course, then this is the most powerful printing factory in the country. When the two machines are started together, it is just like a banknote printing factory, Chu Tianjian said. I believe that Hangcheng's cigarette factory will not only have cigarette labels printed here, but also outer packaging boxes. Once this is started, all cigarette factories across the country will have outer packaging printed here. Printed, Zhang Chen said. Okay, not bad, the future is very bright. Lu Ligan smiled, and then he said to Chu Tianjian, brother, let's do this. I will buy this printing press. If I make money, you can pay me back the money. If I lose money, I will buy it. Forget it, okay. Chu Tianjian did not dare to agree. He looked at Chu Tianlin, and Chu Tianlin said, if you two are really so interested in printing, or you come to buy shares in this factory, and you buy shares, I will buy anything. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan both shook their heads. Lu Ligan said, I'm a house builder. I don't know anything about printing. What if I get tricked by you? Chu Tianlin rolled her eyes at him, and Lu Ligan laughed. Sister Tianlin, just do it like this. As long as you become bigger, we will be happy in our hearts. Aren't you happy for us every time we accomplish something? Can't we also be happy for you? Zhang Chen said. Chu Tianlin felt like she was feeling dizzy again. Lu Lepol patted Chu Tianjian on the shoulder and said to him, don't always look at your sister. Man, make your own decisions. You don't even dare to do this. Chu Tianjian said, yes, I agree. Okay, there has been a rebellion. Sister Tianlin, it doesn't matter whether you agree or not. This is my territory. I will buy a printing press and put it here. You can't object, right? Lu Ligan said with a smile. Chu Tianlin sighed and shook his head helplessly. The four people got on the car and immediately went to Laotan and Hanjiao Bang. Lu Ligan told them the matter, and they also said, okay, this is good. Chu Tianlin scolded, I finally know, you are just a fellow traveler, let alone a duck, you are just a duck egg. If I fall into your hands, you will overtake me. Several men laughed. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, immediately contacted his friend in Germany. After a while, the friend called back and said that they would not start production until an order was placed for the Roland 900. The production cycle was 2 months. This is just the right time, Zhang Chen said. By the time this machine arrives, work has already started on the opposite side, and production is on track. This way, We won't be in a hurry when the two machines arrive at the same time. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, looked worried and shook his head. He said, "It's not a matter of time." "What's the problem?" Zhang Chen asked curiously. Price. Lu Bang, the great ancestor of the Han dynasty, said. "What happened to the price?" Lu Ligan asked. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, was surprised when his friend told him the price of this machine on the phone. He asked his friend to repeat it again to confirm that it was correct. He, Lu Ligan and others said that this machine is very expensive, 6.2 million German marks, which is almost more than 24 million yuan when converted into RMB. When he heard that it was so expensive, Chu Tianjian quickly shouted, "No, no, 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 it's too expensive. If you buy Heidelberg machines, you can buy several." Lu Ligan cursed, "Why not? Can Heidelberg's machine print such a large format? This is what investment is, the bigger you invest, the more money you can make." Lu Ligan and Chu Tianlin said, "Sister Tianlin, when my splendid Jiangnan was about to open, what did you tell me? You said that the price cannot be low. Once it is low, the threshold for this office building will be lower. You said it, that's right, this machine, although it is expensive, is also a threshold, which can guarantee that you will be several years ahead in the country. Only you can do the orders that others cannot do. The poll is right, Sister Tianlin. I think if there is no competition, the price of this printing will be different. Although this machine is expensive, it will still be allocated to each order in the end, and the wool will still come from the sheep," Zhang Chen said. Chu Tianlin lowered her head and thought for a while. She raised her head and asked Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan, "You two, do you want me to make a bet?" Lu Ligan nodded, and Zhang Chen said, "It's not a bet, I just think that if this piece is taken up, the market will really be huge. It would be a pity not to do it. If it is too late, it will be too late." Chu Tianlin nodded and said, "I am in business myself. Of course I know the market demand. I just did the math. The investment in this machine is indeed huge, but I calculated it. If it can reach 12 to 3 million prints a year, I think the investment can be recovered in 1.5 to 2 years. If done well, it can be recovered in a little more than a year. I will listen to you and take this gamble, but you must agree to one request of mine." "Sister Tianlin, tell me," Zhang Chen said. "I will definitely pay you back the money I owe you, and you must charge interest when the time comes." "Okay," Chu Tianlin said. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan looked at each other. What they both thought was that the future matters will be discussed later. As long as you decide now, you can make this place the largest printing factory in the country. Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Sister Tianlin, whatever you say, we will listen to you." Chu Tianlin decided to use this fully operated Manroland machine because she had been thinking about it ever since Lu Ligan talked about using this machine. The Heidelberg Speedmaster SM52 was an order from the Hangcheng cigarette factory, and its production was basically so full that she had to push through many orders. It can be said that from a business perspective, she is too relaxed, and the rest is basically production matters. Adding another printing press would be a challenge and indeed an opportunity for her. She could definitely enter the field of large format packaging printing. She believed that with her own ability, there would be no problem at all. Chu Tianjian is right when he says that as soon as the offset printing machine is started and the impression cylinder rotates, it is really just like a money printing machine. A money printing machine is also a printing press. The only difference is that it prints money directly. I print paper equivalent to money. Thank you Shifangxian and Cup Guy API for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good night everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 996. It is confirmed that another Manroland 900 will be purchased, and the two factory buildings will need to be readjusted and reorganized. One building will be a printing workshop, with two printing presses placed there, and one printing press will also be reserved. Seed. Chu Tianlin felt that the Heidelberg SM52 would not be able to cope with the orders of Hangcheng cigarette factory and her old customers alone. At the beginning, the Manroland 900 could help support it. If the large format business increases, it will definitely be needed. Add a 4-open or 8-open machine, preferably a 4-open machine, so that they are fully equipped. Chu Tianlin was shocked when such an idea came into her mind. She felt that her ambitions seemed to have been boosted by those men. There is also a factory building that is used as a warehouse and pre-press and post-press workshop. A door should be opened directly on the wall of the warehouse facing the road outside, so that it is convenient for forklifts to enter and exit, loading and unloading paper and products. The two printing presses are running together. While they are money printing machines, they are also two paper-eating monsters. The amount of paper required every day is also amazing. Lao Tan asked Lao Wan, "Is it too late to build two factories at the same time?" Lao Wan said there is no problem. You can focus on building the factory building first. That building needs equipment. You can do it first and leave some time for the ground to solidify. While the equipment is being installed on the warehouse side and there, you can continue here. Construction will not affect each other and will be done in time. Lao Tan said yes, let's do it. While Chu Tianlin was busy at the construction site, she was not idle either. Ying Ying took her to the Industrial and Commercial Bureau and got a business license. It was called Hangcheng Sankei Printing Co., Limited. This name was given by Zhang Chen. The fabric supplier under him, the one in Zhangjiagang, was called Sankei Linen Weaving Co., Limited. Zhang Chen felt that the three colors were more suitable for use in a printing factory, and Chu Tianlin adopted it. Chu Tianlin and Xiaoan also used this time to learn to drive. From now on, they will have to run between splendid Jiangnan and Gongchen Bridge every day. They can't do it without a car. Hearing that they were going to learn to drive, Tan Shahen also followed them. Chu Tianjian was at the construction site every day, paying attention to the progress of the project, and sometimes he even worked with the workers. The few technical backbones who came with them from Shenzhen had nothing to do, so they also followed Chu Tianjian and became construction workers. They heard that not only a Heidelberg SM52, but also a full-sheet Manroland 900 was required here. They were very excited and imagined that they would drive these two printing presses. The scene was exciting enough. When she wasn't learning to drive, Chu Tianlin began to contact many of her old customers, including some orders that they had come to her for before but they couldn't take. She also told the Hangcheng cigarette factory about the future equipment situation of her factory here. They were also very happy and agreed that if Gongchen Kiao had such a large-scale printing factory with such advanced equipment, then all our future the orders no longer go to other places, they are all left here with you. She also went to the Xiaosha development zone. Xiaosha has now begun to take shape. Many world-renowned companies, such as Toshiba and LG, etc. have already settled in Xiaosha. Chu Tianlin was just like Lu Ligan sweeping the buildings, visiting each house one after another, and gained a lot not small. Many companies have been looking for such a printing factory, and now they come to visit, it's just right. After running around, Chu Tianlin felt that Zhang Chen was right. Large format printing was indeed a gap. Many companies had no choice but to import even the outer packaging boxes of their products from abroad, because they had no choice. What we do domestically cannot always meet their requirements. Chu Tianlin then went to Suzhou Industrial Park and Kunshan. It can be said that her Manroland and Heidelberg machines have not yet arrived, but she already has a lot of customers. Some anxious customers told Chu Tianlin, "You can test the large format machine." When you arrive, be sure to notify us to come over and take a look. As long as your test is successful, we will place an order immediately. For these customers, it would be great if large-sized color-printed outer packaging boxes could be produced in China. They also have the same troubles as Zhongchen, that is, often the product is ready, but they have to wait for the packaging boxes to be imported. And finally, concentrated packaging in a hurry. Zhongchen, Lu Ligan, Laotan, and Han Emperor Lu Bang often went to the construction site of the Hangcheng spoke factory. Although the factory had nothing to do with them, they felt that it was like their own project, and they wished they could see it one day earlier. Start work here. As soon as the tiles on the roof were ready to be renovated, Zhongchen thought of it. He called Lao Wan over and asked him if he could first lay a layer of linoleum felt under the tiles. From now on, there would be paper underneath. I'm afraid of getting wet, so if the tiles crack and some water leaks, it doesn't matter. Lao Wan agreed, and he asked the workers to lay a layer of linoleum felt on the roof, and then put tiles on top of the linoleum felt. Everyone cares about this place and feels that it has become their focus. After having such a focus, it is strange that life does not seem so sad anymore. This printing plant seems to have become their symbol of 1998. As long as if we succeed here, everyone's 1998 will definitely be better. For Zhongchen, what made him feel comfortable was that the inventory processing activities on New Year's Day were very effective. Every store could be said to be full of customers. Xiaoli and Xiaomi were in the store for more than 10 hours a day. While talking on the phone, I complained that it couldn't be done, I was going to collapse, but after the call, I ran out and continued to work. There was nothing I could do, there were not enough manpower. Xiao Zhao said he went to the store to have a look, but after going there, he couldn't come back. He went there early the next day, and didn't go home until the store closed in the evening. In 2 days, the 3 stores processed almost half of their inventory, which made Zhongchen heave a sigh of relief. At the end of the year, not only Zhongchen himself felt, but everyone's heart seemed to have begun to stabilize. Maybe the hard days had been going on for too long, and everyone was used to it, and they felt a little tired in their hearts. They felt that no matter how bad it would just be like this. What else? What makes life difficult is not only the sluggish business and the drop in income itself, but what is even more difficult is the fear of the situation and the sense of uncertainty that fear brings. Over time, even fear becomes numb. This situation is even more obvious when it comes to Zhongchen's private custom-made customers. They slowly seem to let go again. What do they think? Why do I treat myself like this? Their purchasing volume is so high. Recover slowly. Shentu Hanjian and Zhongchen said, I have figured it out. This money should be spent or spent. What is the use of keeping it? If a crisis breaks out, you will not be the only one who is sad. Everyone is the same. When it comes to that at that time, let's talk about it at that time. Zhongchen smiled and said, you can't hold it in, right? Shentu Hanjian also laughed. She said, I just can't hold it in. I don't have any money, so I don't have any money. I don't think about things. It's too uncomfortable to just leave the money and not spend it. The most important thing is, when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you feel that you don't look as good as before? Zhongchen asked. Yes, but it's not me, it's my dead husband. Do you know what he said that day? He was so angry with me. He said to me, why have you been so sloppy recently? Look, he dared to say that about me. Is he owed bien? Haha, Mr. Zhang, let me tell you, as soon as I said I wanted to come to your place today, he was happier than me. If I were slower, he would push me out the door. Zhongchen laughed and said, it means he cares about you. Let me tell you, if your husband doesn't even care about what you wear every day and he hasn't noticed that you've had your hair permed for 3 days, That would be trouble, it means that his attention is no longer on you. Yes, yes, Mr. Zhang, you are right. It seems that my dead husband is still pretty good, right? I will reward him well when I go back. Zhang Chen said yes, let's change it today and give it a new look so that your husband will be surprised as soon as you walk in the door. Okay, thank you Mr. Zhang. Zhang Chen called and asked Ji Ling to come over with her makeup and hairdresser, and they discussed a new look for Shentu Hanjian. Shentu Hanjian was sitting there, with several people surrounding her. Shentu Hanjian suddenly couldn't help it and started laughing. The people surrounding her didn't know why she was laughing. She laughed inexplicably. Shentu Hanjian laughed. After a while, he stretched out his hand and waved to Zhang Chen and said, "No, no." She couldn't help laughing again. When she had laughed enough, she said to Zhang Chen and the others, "Mr. Zhang, you guys surrounding me like this remind me that I am a pig myself." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Why, are you afraid that we will kill you?" "No, no, I'm telling you, when I was a kid, on days like this, the new year is almost here, what was my favorite thing to do you know?" Zhang Chen and the others all shook their heads, and Shentu Hanjian said, "I like to watch people killing pigs the most. When the pig butcher wants to kill the pig, this is what he does. He releases the pig from the pig pen, and the pig just shakes his head and sniffs here and there in the open space. The butcher, the pig man, holding a cigarette in his mouth, pretended to be fine, and then walked around the pig like this. Suddenly, he used that kind of hook to hook its head or buttocks. You guys were walking around me, and I remembered that I was like that pig." Everyone laughed. Ji Ling said with a smile, "Mr. Shentu, we don't have hooks." Zhang Chen couldn't help but laugh. He felt that Shentu Hanjian was really heartless, and a woman could compare herself to a pig so carelessly. Ji Ling smiled and said, "Mr. Shentu, you should come more often." "Why?" Shentu Hanjian asked. "Every time you come, we are very happy. Really, if you don't come for a long time, people in our design center will ask, why doesn't Mr. Shentu come?" Ji Ling said. Shentu Hanjian became even happier when she heard this. She said, "Is that so? Okay, then as long as I go to Hangzhou from now on, even if I have nothing to do, I will come to your place to hang out until you hate me." "No, there is no way we will hate you," Mr. Shentu the makeup artist also said. Zhang Chen had an idea. He decided to embody Shentu Hanjian, who gave people a cheerful and healthy feeling. This was the side of her that was easiest to impress people. Thank you to Dal Tin Soldier and RIRI Shushu for the reward. Thank you Lily for your monthly pass for me, book friend 1405160957299465, and you. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Happy Sunday everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 997. Before the Spring Festival, Lu Ligan and his company moved to a new office building in Peach Blossom Spring and planned to sublet the original office building after the Spring Festival. As a result, 2 days after they moved there, Lu Ligan and Tan Shahan fled back. Then, other people also fled back. Lu Ligan and Zhang Chen said it was too scary. In that place, all you could hear was the sound of wind and the birds were chirping. Sitting there, it was so quiet that I felt like I could hear myself getting older. Tan Shahan also said that the place was quieter than the U Opera troupe, and it was a good place to live, to provide for the elderly, and where to work. The finance manager also complained to Tan Shahan and told her that every day, we either went to the bank or went to the tax office. It took half a day to get from that place to the city. There were several cars in use and everyone was waiting to go back to do something good. We still have to wait, and the time we spend waiting for the bus every day is longer than taking the bus. If you don't have a car, you can't even get out of there. Wherever it is like here, you can just take a bus or take a taxi. You can also ride a bicycle. In that place, even taxis are not willing to go. People have already taken them. We got into the car, and as soon as we said we were going there, we were kicked out by the taxi driver. What I mean is that I don't want to go. Others were even more worried. Ying Ying never moved there from the beginning. She moved to the Gentian power plant. It turned out that Laotan and their Gentian River project headquarters went there together with Laotan and Hanjiao Zalubang. She said, I am in charge of the sales department, so of course I have to stay at the sales site. There are not many houses left to sell in Peach Blossom Spring. We had no choice but to say that half of the company's people had left and half were still here. As a result, the move was a complete failure. Everyone still moved back to the original office and continued working, which made Zhang Chen and the others laugh to death. Zhang Chen scolded Lu Ligan, "You are good at tossing. Why did you bring so many people with you to toss with you?" Lu Ligan smiled awkwardly and said, "I haven't tried this before. I thought that going to a place with birds singing and fragrant flowers would improve office efficiency, but I didn't expect that it would only increase the efficiency of dozing off. Fortunately, there is a resort hotel in the same area as the office building. Since this building is no longer used as a company office, Lu Ligan moved this building into the hotel and turned it into the hotel's administrative office, and in this way, the business area of the hotel is increased, and an additional villa can be built where the property service office was originally located. They squeezed in as little as possible and continued to work in the old office building. Lu Ligan said that when the Hangcheng Center is completed, the company can move to the Hangcheng Center. Tan Shahen objected to moving the company to the center of Hangzhou. She said she couldn't bear to part with it. After it was completed, it would definitely be the most expensive office building in Hangzhou. It would be better to sell it for own use. I think our company should be located next to the center of Hangzhou. In an office building, find the worst floor for yourself. Both Lao Tan and Fan Jiangguo agreed with Tan Shahen's idea. They felt that there was really no need to be so luxurious when working by themselves, and they should put their offices in the center of Hangzhou. The current office was first recommended to Lu Ligan by Fan Jiangguo, including the entire decoration process. Fan Jiangguo knew Lu Ligan's thoughts. Fan Jiangguo said, "Our company should not rely on the center of Hangzhou now. Inside, we have earned a reputation for ourselves. Now, even if we work in a thatched house, we are famous enough that no one in Hangzhou knows about us." Tan Shahen said yes, that way people will still say we are simple and trust us more. Lao Tan also said, "Pol, we build houses to sell, not for our own use. As long as our own offices can be used, that's fine." Lu Ligan listened and sighed repeatedly in his heart. It's over. It's over. It seems that he, who is upstairs in the center of Hangzhou every day, watching my dream of Hangzhou and my West Lake, is going to be killed alive by these people. Killed. Tan Shahen seemed to know what Lu Ligan was thinking, and said to him, "Maybe we can build an office for you next to the reservoir on the roof of the center of Hangzhou so that you can work there?" Lao Tan and Fan Jiangguo laughed. Lao Tan said that there was no need to build a new building. There was already one there, but it was just a workshop for the engineering department. Lu Ligan looked at the three of them and once again felt that Meng Ping's words were right. He had been completely ignored in the company. The new office plan was just decided. After all the back and forth, the Lunar New Year's Eve is coming soon, and this year there is still no 30, only 29. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao originally planned to go to Chongqing this year, but because they remembered that Chu Tianlin's printing factory was still rushing to work, they simply did not go and went back at another time. The construction site of Hangcheng Sankei Printing Co., Limited has changed in a few days. The grass-green epoxy floor of the printing workshop has been completed. Although there is nothing in the more than 1,000 square meter factory, it looks empty and tidy. But just looking at it like this makes people inexplicably excited. Lu Ligan suddenly had an idea. He said, "How about we have the New Year's Eve dinner here? Do you see, there are some tables over there. You can play badminton or dance here. How great." He just said this casually, but he didn't expect the audience to respond enthusiastically. Xiao Zhao said, "Yes, there are so many of us, and we haven't had New Year's Eve dinner together yet, so we will eat here." Of course Chu Tianlin and Chu Tianjian were very happy, and everyone decided that on New Year's Eve, brought all the family members here to have New Year's Eve dinner. Next to it is Lao Wan's canteen, where they can cook meals. Those workers who stay here to continue working can also eat together. Everyone is happy. Lu Ligan took Lao Wan and went to buy the largest TV set. He also asked carpenters to make 2 shelves, bought 2 large iron pots, and placed them on them to become 2 large fire pots. When a sack of steel charcoal came, Zhang Chen looked strange and asked, "What do you want to do? There are so many old people here, let them warm themselves by the fire and watch the Spring Festival Gala. There are so many old people at your house, my house, Sister Tianlin's house. After dinner, we went to play. What are they doing? They sit here and watch TV by the fire. It's such a big space. There is no need to worry about carbon monoxide poisoning." Zhang Chen nodded, thinking this was a good idea. Except for Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, who was going back to Taipei to celebrate the New Year with his family. Everyone else was overjoyed when they heard the news and said they would definitely come. Wu Ziyai and Wei Venfang also decided to have New Year's Eve dinner here before going back. Their company, not far from here, they rented a factory in Hangsilian to use as their warehouse. The couple with their children would also come. When Meng Ping found out, he shouted, "Gangzi, Zhang Chen, don't care. You must take me in as a lonely old man, and I will bring you salted ducks." On the 28th day of the New Year, everyone's company had a holiday. Everyone had nothing to do at home, so they arrived here by chance. Zhang Chen led Xiang Nan to north, and came in Xiao Zhao's car. Huo and Lao Tan they arrived together. Not long after they arrived, Chu Tianlin and Chu Tianjian, along with their parents and Chu Tianlin's son, also came to see their factory. Chu Tianlin's son is older than Xiang Nan Xiangbei and is in the 3rd grade. When the 3 children arrived here and saw such a big space, they quickly started chasing each other and went crazy. The second-rate kid took them to play together and they had a lot of fun. After the meeting, Huo thought of something and told them to leave and follow me. The idiot went out with 3 children. The others didn't know what they were doing and didn't bother to care about them. Lu Ligan and Lao Wan were adjusting the TV, Lao Tan stood at the gate as a sounding board, and Lao Wan climbed to the top of the building. Holding a bamboo pole with an antenna on the top, he slowly turned it around. Lu Li Pole shouted at Lao Tan to turn around, and Lao Tan yelled at Lao Wan on the roof to turn around. The 3 of them worked for a long time before they found the best position for the antenna. Lu Ligan shouted to stop, and Lao Tan said to Lao Wan, "Stop, stop, that's it." Lao Wan used iron wire to fix the bamboo pole. After confirming it, Lu Li passed Lao Tan. After shouting for a while, Lao Wan came down from the roof. Chu Tianjian took his parents around the workshop and told them what machines should be installed here and what machines should be installed there. Although the 2 old men did not understand, they listened with interest. Zhang Chen, Xiao Zhao, Tan Shuhen, and Chu Tianlin stood chatting. After a while, Wei Venfang and Wu Ziyai arrived with a truckload of sofas and asked everyone to help move the sofa. Lu Ligan shouted, "Where did you find this treasure?" Wu Ziyai said that there was a warehouse over there, which probably belonged to their factory. It had been wiped clean and still sat on, so he borrowed it for use. "Is there anyone looking at the warehouse over there?" Zhang Chen was surprised. Wei Venfang cursed, "He knocked off all the locks." Wu Ziyai smiled and said, "It doesn't matter, we put it back after use and just lock it with a new lock. It doesn't matter if it's not locked." Who cares about that broken place now? Lu Ligan shouted. They arranged the sofa in a circle in front of the TV. Wu Zai also moved a few benches to use as coffee tables. They were placed next to the two fire pits, where teacups and fruits could be placed. A very comfortable area for the elderly was set up. They had just finished setting up, and the second guy came back with 3 children. Zhang Chen and the others saw that one of the 3 children was holding a pair of skates. It turned out that the second guy wanted to see such a big place, which is perfect for skating. Today, on the last day, there were still stores open in the dynamic zone, so he took them to buy skates. The 3 children happily put on the skates. They stumbled at first, but under the guidance of the second-rate skaters, they soon became very smooth. Especially Xiang Nan, who was able to make tricks while skating without any teacher. Performed various tricks. The 3 children were playing happily. They slid far away and then came back. When they came back, they had to slide in front of the second kid and let him see if they were skating better than before. The 3 children were all shouting Uncle Frog and chirping. This made Zhang Chen, Xiao Zhao, Tan Shuhen, and Chu Tianlin feel ashamed as they looked at it, feeling that it was the idiots who understood the psychology of children best. Know what they need most. This bastard will definitely be a good father in the future, Xiao Zhao said. Lao Tan nodded and said, not only is he a good father, he is also a good husband. He is also very good to his wife. Maybe it is because his mother died young and his father has been serving as a soldier outside, so he knows what is most precious. Everyone nodded. Lu Ligan said, this bastard is right, it would be most appropriate to build a bastard kindergarten for him and let him be the principal. Kindergarten where children are forced to be raised, Wu Zai asked, and everyone laughed. Thanks for the tip from the third one from top to bottom, 131, on the shore. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 998. On New Year's Eve, everyone went early in the morning. Not only Zhang Chen and the others, but also several elderly people went with them. When the 3 ants arrived, they asked where the kitchen was, and they all ran to the kitchen to help. Xiao Zhao, Tan Shuhen, and Wei Venfang were today's chefs, but as soon as the 3 ants came in, they thought they couldn't do this or that. In the end, the ant became the chef, and they, along with their second-rate wife and Chu Tianlin, became a helper. The chef in the kitchen stood nearby and couldn't intervene. In the end, he asked Xiao Zhao and the others, what should they eat for lunch? The ants said, we don't care about lunch, we only care about the New Year's Eve dinner. The chef said, how about we make steamed buns? Xiao Zhao and the others then started making steamed buns. The 3 uncles were sitting on the sofa watching TV, drinking tea, and chatting. After Lao Tan arrived, he played chess with Zhang Chen's father. Chu Tianlin's father also participated. The 3 of them agreed that whoever loses would stand up and play. Will war. Lao Lu had no interest in chess at all, so he simply took the teapot, poured wine, ate peanuts and melon seeds, and watched TV happily alone. The idiot was holding his child in his arms and watching the 3 of them skating in the south and north. The most idle people were those men, standing here and there, smoking and bragging. In the end, they were tired of sitting, standing, and even smoking. Fortunately, Lu Ligan brought a badminton racket. In order not to disturb the children skating, they ran to a corner of the factory and started playing ball. When it was almost noon, Meng Ping arrived, carrying more than a dozen salted ducks in his hands. Lao Lu was from northern Jiangsu, and his mouth watered when he saw the Nanjing salted ducks. Meng Ping had met Lao Lu. When he saw him sitting and drinking alone, he gave Lao Lu a duck and told him, Uncle, try this. It's from Zhuanggai Yuanlu. As soon as he came in, Lu Ligan saw him over there and shouted to Lao Meng. Meng Ping put the duck down and ran over. Lao Lu picked up the duck and tasted it. As soon as he tasted it, he said it was delicious. He called the 3 chess players to come and try it. With the mentality of giving it a try, the 3 people walked over and tasted it. Sure enough, it tasted good, so they might as well play chess. Not wanting to drink anymore, he took the teapot and started drinking wine. By the time Chu Tianlin and Xiao Zhao came over with steamed buns, they had finished eating 3 ducks and were almost full. The men who were playing golf heard the greeting and came over to eat steamed buns and duck. They also started drinking. Only the few children who came to eat steamed buns said they were not hungry yet. Several men, after eating and drinking, first walked to the yard and then walked into the factory building opposite. Work here was also suspended today. The workers had a rest and ran to the bathhouse on the street opposite Gongchen Bridge to take a bath. The few men then walked out of the iron gate and arrived at the factory area outside. There was nothing to see inside, so they simply walked out of the factory gate. This side of the canal is an abandoned industrial area that has stopped working, and is in a state of depression. However, the town opposite is bustling with people. On the afternoon of New Year's Eve, there are still many people selling and buying New Year's goods. A few men simply walk by. After passing Gongchen Bridge, we went to the opposite side. Wandering on the street, they looked at how delicious this was, and how good that was, and soon they couldn't hold it anymore with both hands. Finally, they simply told a few vendors to close the stall, we all want it here, wait here, we come back, come with us. When they walked back to the end of the street, they were followed by 7 or 8 vendors, carrying burdens and laughing and joking behind them. Even they had never seen anyone buying things like this. This large group of people entered the factory. Not only Lao Tan and the 3 old men, but also Xiao Zhao and the others were surprised and cursed, "You are going to die. How can you finish eating after buying so much?" Lu Ligan said, "It's not just us, there are also workers. If they can't finish the food, they can take it to the room and eat slowly." Xiao Zhao and the others stopped talking. Lao Tan and the 3 old men were almost finished drinking. Seeing this situation, they came to pick some more things and continued drinking. Lu Ligan shouted to Lao Lu, "Lao Lu, please take it easy. Don't get drunk before you even finish the New Year's Eve dinner." Lao Liu's tongue was already big, and he said it was fine, so I drank slowly. Everyone laughed, and Lu Ligan shook his head. He said it was okay. He could stay in this semi-drunk state for 7 or 8 hours. A few men continued to play badminton. When they were tired, they sat down on the ground and chatted. At around 3 o'clock, the Banmushan specialty store on Yan'an Road was closed, and Xiao Wan also rushed over. To Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao's surprise, Ji Yiling and Ying Ying also came with Xiao Wan. Zhang Chen asked Ji Yiling, "You don't have to have New Year's Eve dinner at home." Ji Yiling said, "My parents went to my grandfather's place, so I ran over." Ying Ying shouted, "Me too, my parents went to my uncle's house for New Year's Eve dinner." Lu Ligan asked, "Have Lao Ying and Director Ying reconciled?" "Why are they reconciled? They don't have much conflict to begin with. My grandpa is here, and neither of them dares to say a word." "Is Lao Lao so powerful?" Lu Li asked curiously. "Of course, I am a middle school principal. Do you think he is powerful?" The 3 girls immediately helped set up the table. There were 4 tables in total. They originally wanted to place them in front of the place where the men played badminton. Zhang Chen's father said that it would be better to place them behind the sofa so that they could eat later, while watching TV. Everyone thought it made sense, so they placed 4 tables behind the sofa. As a result, the children stopped working and said to Xiang Nan, "You are hindering our communication." Tan Shahan pointed to the open space past the table and cursed, "Is there such a wide space, not enough for you to come and go? You are not a tank." The 3 children laughed, and Zhang Xiangbei shouted, "Aunt Shahan, We are tanks. Lu Ligan shouted, today is World Peace Day, and the tanks will also stop to celebrate the new year. At around 4 o'clock, Lao Wan came back with the workers. Zhang Chen asked Lao Wan, if Zheng Huiyang didn't come, had she gone home or was she in Beijing? Lao Wan said that she was still in Beijing and she had to work overtime. She would have dinner with Xiaoli and the others today. What are they doing in Beijing now? Zhang Chen asked. Lao Wan shook his head and said, she told me, but I didn't understand or remember. I know Xiao Zhao came over and said, the last time I was in Beijing, Xiaoli took me to her place. They were helping the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation to build a website. They did a lot, such as the online Chinese commodity trading market and online Chinese technology. Export Fair, China Investment Promotion, Online Canton Fair and China Foreign Economic and Trade, etc. Are you okay? Zhang Chen asked. Lao Wan said he was very tired and didn't seem to be in a good condition. I think so too, Xiao Zhao said. I'm not used to the food, and I'm not used to the climate. Especially, I have to deal with those people. It's all like hum. When Xiao Zhao spoke, he put his hands behind his back and nodded frequently, imitating those people's behavior. Zhang Chen and Lao Wan both laughed. Chu Tianlin came over to greet and said that the food was ready. Lao Wan quickly called a few people to go to the canteen together and moved the dishes that had been prepared in the canteen. After a while, the 4 tables were filled. Chu Tianlin invited everyone to take their seats, and when the 3 old ladies and the chef also came over, they were ready to start the banquet. The second-rate guy yelled, wait a minute. Then he turned to his wife and said, cover the baby's ears. Then they ran to the courtyard outside. Chu Tianjian and Wu Ziyawai understood and followed them out. After a while, there were violent explosions of firecrackers in the courtyard outside, smoke filled the air, and a strong smell of gunpowder came in from the outside. The 3 people came back from setting off firecrackers, and the New Year's Eve dinner officially started. Lu Ligan walked to the 2 tables of workers and said to them, you're welcome. You can pour the wine and bring the cigarettes by yourself. If you like Maotai, just drink Maotai. If you are not used to Mutai, just drink Wulianjai. Before Lu Ligan finished speaking, old Lu shouted loudly, I'm used to drinking, as long as it's wine. Lu Ligan's mother scolded, I was drunk again. Did anyone ask you? Everyone at the tables laughed, and old Lu also laughed. Lao Lu picked up the cup and wanted to offer Lao Tan a drink. Lao Tan was startled and said quickly, I don't dare to do it. Brother, I'd rather drink it to you. You are a good person, Mr. Tan. You are much better than that person. Old Lu pointed at Lu Ligan, you accepted all the friends I brought and the materials I sent. You are very honorable to me. Unlike that person doesn't even give him the respect of his own father. Old Tan smiled and said, you have wronged Mr. Lu. If Mr. Lu said he couldn't accept it, I wouldn't dare to accept it. Lu Ligan's mother scolded, you old thing, you just don't know what is good and what is good. Tell me, where are you bringing all these messy people? How do you let people work? Old Lu chuckled, they work, and I work too. Lu Ligan quickly said, old man, you have retired honorably. Thank you, and please, if you want to drink, there is plenty of wine at home, so don't worry about work. Chu Tianlin's family didn't know what they were talking about. As soon as Zhang Chen explained to them, they all understood and everyone laughed wildly. After a few rounds of drinking, red envelopes began to be distributed. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao distributed the first wave, Lu Ligan distributed the second wave, and Meng Ping distributed the third wave. As soon as everyone sat down, Chu Tianlin came to distribute the fourth wave. Finally, it was Wei Wenfang and Wu Ziyawai who made a fuss. Zhang Chen's father smiled and said, this is a meal. I just stood up and sat down to receive the red envelope. Ying Ying and Ji Ling laughed and said, it seems that we got the right meal and gained a lot. Before the meal was finished, calls came in one after another, first from Liu Bang, the great ancestor of the Han dynasty, then from Chen Qiang and Lin Yiyan, and then from He Hongmei and He Dongmei. Zhang Chen had just put down his mobile phone when the mobile phone rang again. This time it was from Lin Shuwen. Zhang Chen was still talking on the phone. Lu Ligan's mobile phone rang and it was from Sun Ho. Almost at the same time, Qian Fang and the others also called Meng Ping. Zhang Chen hung up Lin Shuwen's call, and Big Brother rang again. Zhang Chen asked, "Guess whose call this is?" Lu Ligan and Meng Ping said almost in unison, "Li Yong." Zhang Chen picked it up, and it turned out to be Li Yong. He was still on duty in the office, but not in Beijing, but in Qingdao. "Li Yong, why did your office go to Qingdao again?" Lu Ligan came over and asked. "Ho didn't tell you?" Li Yong asked. "No, I just talked to Sun Ho on the phone, and he didn't say anything." "This bastard," his eldest brother appointed Qingdao as the boss and brought me here, Li Yong said. "Li Yong, what are you doing there?" Meng Ping asked. "Deputy Secretary General of the Municipal Government and Director of the Municipal Government Office." "I been promoted. It's really a step up every year." A little, Li Yong smiled. "Thank you for the tips from Half Drunk and Half Awake, Baby Tin Soldier, and reading books every day. Thank you book friend 201705172254399985. Why can't I change my name, Humor Tribe, and Suyuinian's monthly votes? Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 999. Liu Bang, the Emperor of the Han Dynasty, also kept Chu Tianlin's printing press in mind. He set off from Taipei to Hong Kong on the 9th day of the Lunar New Year, and from Hong Kong to Hangzhou on the 10th day of the Lunar New Year. With the return of Hong Kong, direct flights from Hong Kong to Hangzhou were opened, making it more convenient to come and go. Many people, unlike before, have to go to Shanghai or Guangzhou. When Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, saw Lao Tan who went to pick him up, he shouted, "Wrong, wrong, wrong." "What's wrong?" Lao Tan asked. "We calculated the time wrong. There are only 28 days in February." Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, shouted that Lao Tan had also woken up. They counted 3 months according to normal months. If it falls in February, it means 2 days are missing. In addition, Chu Tianlin was wasted because of her affair with her ex-husband. After 3 days, they actually only had 87 days, so they became nervous again. Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, called his friend in Germany almost every day. On February 6, as soon as he finished answering his friend's call at the bowling alley, he ran to Zhang Chen's office next door. He was so happy that he almost jumped up and walked in. Just shouted, "Come out, come out." What happened? Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were both confused. "Miss Chu's printing press has been delivered to the port of Hamburg, and the ship will come out in the evening. It's 3 days, and the Germans have given us a full 3 days advance." "Really? That's great." Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were also excited. Xiao Zhao immediately called and told Chu Tianlin. Chu Tianlin was on the other end of the phone, almost crying with joy. "Next, I will contact the freight forwarder here. When the goods arrive, they will help us clear customs as soon as possible, arrange container trucks, and help us deliver them." Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said, "If the goods have arrived in Shanghai, they will be returned to us at the dock. Leave it on for 2 days. Okay, we don't understand any of this, Brother Liu, we have to rely on you to keep an eye on it," Zhang Chen said. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, made an OK gesture with his right hand and kept shaking it. Immediately afterwards, they, who are world geography idiots, all started to stare at a world map bought by Zhang Chen and watched Chu Tianlin's Heidelberg Speedmaster SM-52 leave the port of Hamburg on the lower reaches of the Elbe River and enter the Heligoland Bay and the North Sea, then down, through the Strait of Dover and the English Channel. After passing Portugal, turn left and enter the Mediterranean through the Strait of Gibraltar. After crossing the entire Mediterranean, we reach Egypt and enter the Red Sea through the Suez Canal. The Red Sea is like a sausage, so long and thin, and Chu Tianlin's printing press is there. Walking in this long and slender Red Sea, from one end to the other, we arrived at the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Exiting the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb is the Gulf of Aden, reaching the Arabian Sea, passing through the Maldives and Sri Lanka, crossing the Great Strait and entering the Andaman Sea. Going down, there is Malaysia on one side and Indonesia on the other. We will soon reach the Strait of Malacca. After arriving in Singapore, we continued forward and reached the South China Sea. It was coming soon, it was almost home. Xiao Zhao, Xiaoan, Chu Tianlin and others felt like they were about to cry when they looked at the map. It was really a journey across the ocean. It was so hard and so lucky. We could pass through so many places in the world that we have not been to yet. We have already been there, Xiao Zhao said. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, took a pen and drew on the map every day. This line extended little by little. Others stood behind him and watched. Lu Ligan saw his line. After entering the South China Sea, it rose little by little. Shouted, to Hainan Island, Your Majesty, why don't you let it go to Hainan Island? Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, turned to him and asked him, it will take at least 4 extra days to go to Hainan Island. Do you want to go? Lu Ligan let out a sigh of relief, forget it. But he immediately came to his senses and shouted, you let it dock in Haikan. I'll ask Lao Xie to help find a container truck. It will take up to 3 days to reach Hangcheng. How much distance do you have to walk on the sea? Then you need to go to Haikan to build a dock first. Where do you want it to stop? Xiuying Port? The ship ran aground before it even docked. What they want to rely on is a deep water port. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said. Lu Ligan stared, the others laughed, and Zhang Chen cursed, don't give directions blindly. If you give directions again, they will all go to the Peach Blossom Spring. This is the old joke that made fun of him for moving the company to the Peach Blossom Spring and then moving it back. Well, anyway, it has opened along the coastline of the motherland now, so I feel relieved, Lu Ligan said. As the ship gets closer and closer, everyone becomes more and more nervous. Every morning, the first thing Xiao Zhao does when he wakes up is to ask Zhang Chen, dear, do you think it will arrive today? I think so, Zhang Chen said. You're lying, you said yesterday that you should be able to do it, Xiao Zhao shouted. Then what did I say? Zhang Chen said with a smile, I said definitely not. Xiao Zhao sat on the bed and was stunned for a moment. She said forget it and said that she should be able to do it. She then stretched out her hand, and Zhang Chen drew a Zhang Chen brand watch for her. Xiao Zhao stared at the watch and asked. My dear, tell me, when the hand goes somewhere at this time, Sister Chu's printing press will arrive. Zhang Chen said, just wait until it arrives. Cunning, Xiao Zhao cursed. On March 1, Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, predicted that the ship should arrive in Shanghai, but before it arrived, everyone became anxious. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, told them that 23 days was the fastest time in theory. The ship is traveling on the sea, and after such a long journey, it may encounter hurricanes. It is normal to be delayed for a few days. If it arrives within 27 days, it is considered on time. Then we may have to wait 4 or 5 days. How will we spend this day? The only thing that can comfort them is that all the work at Lao Wan's place has been completed. Not only has the reconstruction and exterior painting of the two factory buildings been completed, the ground in the yard between the two houses has also been repoured and the roof has been covered. Taking into account the loading and unloading of goods in rainy and snowy days, Lao Wan also built a roof on the road at the entrance of the warehouse. At around 10 o'clock the next morning, Liu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, called Zhang Chen and told him that it had arrived. The ship had arrived last night, and now the goods had been shipped out of the port and were on their way to Hangzhou. Great, Zhang Chen shouted. Zhang Chen hurriedly walked to the next door and told Xiao Zhao that he had arrived and was coming out. Really? That's great, Xiao Zhao also shouted. She followed Zhang Chen back to Zhang Chen's office. She said, "I'll call Sister Qiu." Xiao Zhao had just dialed 2 numbers when Zhang Chen shouted, "Stop it, Xiao Zhao." He saw Chu Tianlin and Xiaoan coming up the stairs. Xiao Zhao put down the phone, walked towards the door, stood at the door and asked, "Sister, do you know?" I know, Chu Tianlin smiled, "the emperor's first call was to me." "Then let's go there," Xiao Zhao said. Xiaoan smiled and said, "I came to call you, just go there together, otherwise how can we go there?" Xiao Zhao patted her and said, come on. If you pass the road test next week, you can drive there by yourself." Zhang Chen wanted to tell them that it was still early and it would take several hours to get here from Shanghai, but after thinking about it, instead of waiting here impatiently, it would be better to go to the scene. He said, "Let's go," and let's go. When they arrived, they found that Lao Tan and Han Emperor Liu Bang were already here. Chu Tianjian drove the forklifts to the road, waiting to unload the goods. Wu Zaiwai was worried that one forklift was not enough, so he drove one over from their company, with 2 forklifts side by side. "Stop here." After a while, Lu Ligan and Tan Shuhen also arrived. Lu Ligan shouted, "The car has just left Shanghai, what are you waiting for here?" Wu Zaiwai scolded, "Then what are you waiting for?" Lu Ligan smiled and said, "I won't be as boring as you. I'm not here to wait. I'm here to drive a forklift. Come down and let me play." Wu Zaiwai asked, "What are you playing for? Do you want to try crossing your slut? Go away, if you want to try it, I'll try it myself. Come down quickly." Wu Zaiwai got off the car and Lu Ligan sat in. Wu Zaiwai told him how to operate it. After understanding, Lu Ligan was about to start it when Wu Zaiwai shouted, "Wait a minute." Lu Ligan looked at him and asked, "What are you doing?" "Let us people get out of the way first," Wu Zaiwai said. When Wu Zaiwai said this, the others really didn't dare to stand on the road and fled into the warehouse. Chu Tianjian also drove a forklift and hid in the iron gate. Only Lu Ligan was left with a forklift there. Lu Ligan started the forklift and turned it around twice. He felt that there was no problem with the operation, so he drove the forklift towards Xiao Zhao's car, shouting, "I will show you how the BMW lifted off the ground." Die! Xiao Zhao yelled and ran over. Lu Ligan laughed loudly when he saw Xiao Zhao chasing after him. Instead of going towards Xiao Zhao's car, he went straight along the road to the factory gate. Everyone came out of the warehouse and stood on the road at the door again. After waiting for more than 10 minutes, Lu Ligan did not come back. Wu Zaiwai asked, "Could this guy drive into the canal?" "It's possible," Zhang Chen said. Several people were about to walk out when they heard the intermittent sound of the diesel engine. Then they saw the forklift turning around at the intersection in front. Just as it turned around, it stopped again. Lu Lepol got out of the car and ran towards the back of the car. Taking the eye, picked up 2 things and put them on the 2 forks sticking out of the forklift, then got on the truck and restarted the truck. As the car approached, the people here laughed so much that their stomachs almost hurt from laughing. They saw that there were 2 packs of cigarettes on the 2 forks, and 1 pack had been crushed. Lu Ligan stopped the car, got out of the car and told them, I went to buy cigarettes. Did you see them? Wuzay, how are your skills? I left the cigarettes there and drove back. Tan Shahan scolded, childish devil. Wuzay said, great, how many times did we stop along the way? Also, was the pack of cigarettes blown by the wind? This is not the first time, it will be fine the second time, Lu Ligan said unconvinced. Let me tell you, this is how Zongnanhai trains the drivers who drive for the chief minister. They put a glass of water on the hood and ask them to start driving. When Zongnanhai reaches the great hall of the people, water cannot be spilled. How do you know about Zongnanhai? Wuzay asked. I heard what the people living there said, Lu Ligan said. The most annoying thing is that there is a door to get in and out of Zongnanhai. You have to go through a little hurdle. As you know, you can't talk about it. Make some cement. It's fair. In the end, most people can't pass here. You have to practice until you pass this hurdle without any water spilling. Only then will you be considered qualified and can drive for the chief. Zhang Chen knew that Lu Ligan must have heard this from Zheng Wei, as his family seemed to live in the sea. This is normal, Lao Tan said, those chiefs are old and in poor health. If they all encounter you driving like this, who can bear it? Not necessarily, everyone is different. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said, I know Lin Bi, he had a severe headache at night. When he couldn't sleep, he would ask the guards to drive the tricycle while he sat on it. In a three-wheeled truck, he went to the suburbs and bumped around in potholes. After a while, he fell asleep in the truck. Your Majesty, Lin Bi is your general. Do you know him so well? Lu Ligan asked. The Hong Kong airport is full of memoirs of the people involved. When I am in transit, I will buy a copy and read it. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said. Thanks for the tip. I don't know who ever asked, but I ranked third from top to bottom, and 131 on the shore. Thank you to Qian Dad, Tianying 1978, Zi Bei Keng Sheng Edison, Yaoju, Fan Fan, Fen Yu Wu, and Chiyo 20200725185530530536 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening, everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1000. They waited until noon, but there was no sign of the container truck. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said that it was still early and would not arrive until at least 2 o'clock. Let's go have lunch first. Wu Kai is very familiar with the area around Gongchen Bridge. He said that if you take a walk, there is a house with good haggis soup opposite. I will take you to eat haggis soup. A group of people walked towards the gate, turned right after exiting the gate, and went up to the Gongchen Bridge. After getting off the bridge, there was a three-way intersection with two streets diagonally going out. Wu Zayawai led them into the right one and went in. After walking for more than 10 meters, I saw a sign hanging on the street in front of me with the words Little Sister's Haggis written on it. Lu Ligan asked, Wu Zayawai, do you often come here to eat? Yes, Wu Zayawai said. Tell me the truth, are you here to see my little sister, or are you here to eat haggis soup? Wu Zayawai said honestly, if you come to eat haggis soup, you will definitely see my little sister, but she is over 60 years old. Everyone laughed. Wu Zayawai looked at Lu Ligan and said, I'll introduce you to my little sister later. She's from my family. Her surname is also Wu. Her name is Wu Xiaomei. She has been making haggis soup here for more than 10 years. When they arrived at the door of Little Sister Haggis, they saw the boss Wu Xiaomei, who was in her 60s, thin and capable. When she saw Wu Zayawai, she smiled and said, how many people are there upstairs? 10, Wu Zayawai said. Okay, should I arrange it for you? The younger sister asked. Wu Kai nodded and said yes. Lu Ligan wanted to sneak upstairs from behind Wu Zayawai, but Wu Zaiyi grabbed him and said to his little sister, "Boss, come here. Boss Lu admires you very much and must get to know you. The Hang Cheng Spoke factory across the street belongs to him now." Wu Zaiyi said, "Okay, big boss, take care of our store's business in the future." As she spoke, she stretched out her hands. Lu Lizang saw that her hands were greasy, but he had no choice but to shake them. They felt slippery, like holding a piece of fat. The others tried their best to hold back their laughter. When they got upstairs, Wu Zaiyi asked Lu Ligan if he was satisfied. "You also met my little sister. Damn it, her hands are all oily." Lu Ligan glared at Wu Zaiyi, put his hand in front of his nose, sniffed, and said, "There is also a smell of sheep." Wu Zaiyi said, "That's not a good thing, you took advantage of me." The people in the box burst into laughter. A stainless steel pot of haga soup was served. A solid alcohol stove was added underneath and it was lit. The pot soon started to gurgling. Then came yuba, bamboo fungus, and 4 or 5 vegetables. The haggis was already in the pot. Wu Kai told everyone not to add vegetables yet, but to try the soup. Everyone scooped a bowl of soup, and the pot reached the bottom. After tasting it, it was indeed extremely delicious. "That's it, Sister Tianlin, we will have to come here often to eat," Lu Ligan said. "Okay, I welcome you every day," Chu Tianlin said. The waiter brought 2 portions of plain mutton, and Wu Zaiyi asked her to bring another pot of mutton soup. Everyone tried the plain mutton, which was also delicious. The mutton soup hadn't come yet, but 2 big pots of lamb scorpions in sauce were served first, one spicy and one not spicy. Everyone took what they wanted and ate it. It was so delicious. When the waiter brought the mutton soup, Wu Kai added 2 more pots of mutton scorpions. Wu Zaiyi told them that there were not many dishes in this shop, just these few. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, said that it is useless to eat more. If you eat these few, the others will be tasteless. When everyone thinks about it, this is really the case. They ate until about 1 o'clock, and when they walked back, they became anxious again. They didn't say anything, but they were thinking in their hearts whether the container truck would already be parked there when they arrived. But when they got there, they didn't see the container truck, but the technical backbones were there. Waiting at the door, there were also a few people sent by Lao Wan to help unload the truck. A large group of people stood there waiting. When it was about 2 o'clock, they heard the rumble of a car coming from the factory gate. Chu Tianjian ran over there. He ran to the turning place in front and looked around. He waved his hands at them and shouted, "Coming, coming." Then they saw a container truck appearing at the corner. Everyone felt a rush of blood, and Chu Tianlin's face turned red. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, stood in the middle of the road and waved to the container truck. The car stopped in front of him. The driver jumped out of the car, holding a sheet in his hand. After confirming with Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, that it was correct, he walked to the back and opened it. He unsealed the seal on the 40-foot-high cabinet, and then opened the back door and side door. Everyone saw that inside the container were wooden boxes that were packed tightly. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, gave the driver a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of water and asked him to rest on the side while the truck began to be unloaded. Wu Zaiyi jumped on one forklift, and Lu Lepole jumped on another. Chu Tianjian had no choice but to watch from the side. When he saw Wu Zaiyi fork a wooden box, he looked at the contents on the wooden box, and then telling Wu Zaiyi where to transport it, he called 2 workers at the same time and went inside to make arrangements. Wu Zaiyi and Lu Ligan unloaded the boxes piled at the door of the container. The people sent by Lao Wan and Chu Tianlin's own people got on the container and moved the wooden boxes inside little by little towards the door. Convenient for forklift work. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han dynasty, stood with Chu Tianjian with a packing list and moved a box. Chu Tianjian told him which box it was, so he put a square root on the packing list. They unloaded the container for more than an hour. All the goods have been unloaded. Lu Bang and Chu Tianlin, the founders of the Han Dynasty, said that the people from Heidelberg would arrive tomorrow morning, and they would start pretending after they arrived. No, 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 Chu Tianjian said impatiently, we can install it by ourselves after looking at the instructions. I think even if we work all night tonight, we can roughly put the machine in place. When they arrive, they just need to help debug or make adjustments. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han Dynasty, said yes, this is okay and saves time. When the things arrived, Zhang Chen, Lu Ligan and the others suddenly felt that they had nothing to do. They felt empty and couldn't help much here, so they might as well go back. Chu Tianlin and Xiaoan still wanted to stay here, so they all made an appointment to have dinner together to celebrate. Wu Zaiwai and Zhang Chen said, you go, Sister Tianlin and Xiaoan, we can bring them out later. Chu Tianlin kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you. She hugged Tan Shahan and then Xiao Zhao. When she hugged Xiao Zhao, Chu Tianlin suddenly burst into tears. Xiao Zhao was startled and asked quickly, Sister, what are you doing, what's wrong? It's okay, it's okay. Sister, I'm happy and grateful. Chu Tianlin clasped her hands and bowed in a circle towards Zhang Chen, Lu Ligan, Han Emperor Lu Bang, Lao Tan and Wu Kaiwai, and said to them. Really, if it weren't for you, I really don't know how I could survive. Thank you, thank you. Zhang Chen and the others were in Zhang Shenji's box. It was almost 7:30 when Chu Tianlin and Xiao Anke arrived with Wei Venfang and Wu Zaiwai. They did not see Chu Tianjian. Chu Tianlin smiled and said to them. When I asked him, I said wait. When I asked him, I said wait. It made us wait until now. Finally, we said forget it. He didn't eat. I think he was obsessed and couldn't scream anymore. Zhang Chen and the others all laughed, and Lao Tan said, this kind of person is great, he will become a master in this industry. Chu Tianlin said, it's true, I don't know how he learned his German. Now he has no problem reading and writing, but he can't understand or speak a word. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan remembered that Chu Tianjian told them that he relied on the dictionary and recognized each one. The two of them coincidentally thought of Wang Chao who memorized the Xinhua dictionary. It seemed that they had become spirits. The method is the same. After finishing the meal, everyone sat and chatted enthusiastically. It was already past 9 o'clock. The waiter deliberately walked into the box to look around because he had something to do. In fact, he wanted to urge them to finish it quickly, but he was too embarrassed to say it out loud. Everyone was sitting there, always feeling that there was still something to enjoy. Lu Bang, the emperor of the Han Dynasty, said, why don't you go play ball at my place? Everyone shook their heads. Zhang Chen asked if you would like to visit Gongchen Bridge again. When Zhang Chen said it, everyone said yes. It turns out that this is the reason why they feel that they are not having enough fun. After paying the bill, he went downstairs and got in the car. Several cars ran to Gongchen Bridge. Zhang Chen also packed 2 ducks and a few vegetables, ordered wine and rice, and took them to Chu Tianjian and the others. When they arrived at the factory, they saw other machinery and equipment. Even the wooden boxes had not been dismantled. Chu Tianjian and the others concentrated on dealing with the Speedmaster SM52. The machine had been placed and spliced in place, but it had not yet been completely assembled. Zhang Chen was shocked when he saw it. It turned out that their printing press looked like this, no wonder it was so expensive. Zhang Chen has been to a printing factory before. Each machine is moving. The workshop is covered with colorful inks that have accumulated over the years. The smell is pungent and the sound is deafening. People are constantly carrying ink buckets to refill the machines. The machine in front of us cannot actually be described as a table. It can only be described as a seat, or a group. The entire group of machines is almost 10 meters long and more than 2 meters wide. It is composed of different units. A row of the cabinets were neat and tidy. Compared with them, the printing presses Zhang Chen had seen were just piles of scrap metal. Chu Tianjian introduced to him that the entire machine is controlled by a computer, whether it is the feeder in front, which is the paper feeding system, or the registration of the printing unit, plate change, ink change, addition and subtraction of ink volume, and even the cleaning of rubber cylinder and impression cylinder is automatic. Including the paper delivery device at the rear, it can quickly change the paper pile and easily change the substrates of various formats frequently. Zhang Chen kept nodding his head and asked, "What is the output of this machine?" 15,000, Chu Tianjian said. "Can you print so many in one day?" Zhang Chen was surprised. "One day," Chu Tianjian smiled, "1 hour." "Ah," Zhang Chen, Lu Ligan, Han Jiaozulu Bang, Lao Tan and others who were surrounding him were all surprised. "Otherwise, how can we recoup the cost of such an expensive machine?" Chu Tianjian said. "How can this machine withstand such a high speed?" Lao Tan asked. "This is how great the Germans are. Their steel materials are different from ours. The same gears, bearings, and rollers will not lose shape if they are not replaced for several years. This way, we can ensure that the color registration is always accurate. It won't move. If it were made of other steel materials, it would have been deformed long ago," Chu Tianjian said. "No wonder," Lu Ligan said, "no wonder good car engines are all made by Germans."